Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video. In this video we are going to be looking at Mike's parts to Glorified G off the Versus album. It's a bit of a cracking tune. There's some nice techniques in here. You can use a bit of hybrid picking. If you don't know what that is, we shall delve into that. Bit of finger picking, a bit of solo action as well, always loving that. And it's a marvellous solo actually in this tune. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so let me play the first riff. 2, 3, 4. Etc. Okay, let me play that through really slowly, okay? Now check out, I'm kind of slightly muting the D string, which is what my thumb is playing. The fretting hand as well, I've gone for first finger on the second string on the G string and the third finger on the third fret on the B. And that is because this is basically a hammer-on from the second to the fourth, but it's a double stop, so you're playing two notes at the same time. So you're just adding, using a hammer-on, your third finger or your fourth finger, whichever you choose to use, to the fourth fret on the E, A, D, G string. When you get there, that's a bit of a stretch for me. So what I prefer to do is if I use my first and third finger rather than my first and second finger, so that position doesn't work for me. It might work for you if you've got big fingers, but I don't, so. Now, the D string is kind of a bit incidental until later on in the tune where you'll hear him play, where it's much more pronounced and he's using a pick to play that. But for the intro he's definitely using some fingers. He might be using hybrid picking. Now hybrid picking is where you've got your pick and your fingers. Hence the term hybrid. So you could play it that way as well. And basically you just play the same thing, but instead you're using your third and fourth fingers on this hand rather than your first and second to do that. Okay, drop my plectrum. So slowly with hybrid picking style. And the last time you're just leaving the G string open. Okay, so that slowly again. And then up to tempo with the right muting and stuff, it's. Bosh! Then, and Stone's playing behind that. Now, some of the time in that intro section you won't even hear the D note at all, or the open D string, you'll just hear. You'll just hear it occasionally, and I think that's because he is playing it with his fingers. The trickiest bit with that is probably the you're doing the hammer on, then the thumb, and then you're going to play the octave basically, which is the D, the open D to the fretted D to the open D. But as you get more comfortable with that, you can add more dynamics. So that bit needs to be quite loud. And the other bits are quite... it's almost imperceptible in places. Okay? I think you get the idea. Hopefully that makes sense. Now when the verse comes in, Stone's playing his D chord, Mike's playing, and he's picking at that point, or if you're playing with your fingers, and you're just letting it ring out because it's... Or you can play it with a pick. And then you're going to play this, which is basically a C major sus fourth. But you don't need to play the whole chord, so you can play... Now the second time round, Mike doesn't go back to that. So he plays... Okay, I've done this before on Stone's video actually, because I stole it from Mike's. So you're going to be playing the D, then you do this kind of very Jimi Hendrixy. So you're sliding from the 7th fret to the 9th, and you're playing this chord with a hammer on. Then back to the C sus fourth. But it resolves quicker than the first time. Okay, so the first time it's... And if it looks weird, I'm actually muting these two strings here with my thumb. So they're not really sounding out, but it just means you can play, you can strum basically. And also, the top E is also muted by this. So all you hear is... But notice the difference, it's... So you play 5 stabs before you pull off, okay, and resolve back to the C. So it's... Okay, second time. Just 2 before you resolve, okay? And then you're back into the main riff. Okay, chorus is the same as the intro. Play that twice. Then when it goes back into the second verse, Stone's playing that, Mike just plays this. Okay, just plays that twice, so that's... And again. Okay, then another chorus. And then coming out of that, you'll be playing C, C sharp, D sharp. Now, the first time round, you stay on the D sharp for an extra bar, so it's... Okay, the second time round is... And then that last time, you extend it out again. Stone's playing, you'll hear. But Mike's just sticks on the D sharp. Okay, now this sort of breakdown bit is a kind of refrain of the intro part, but it's played with it's played a lot more loosely and with some extra little fill. So okay, let me play it through briefly. It's not going to be bang on, I don't think, but because he does a slide and stuff in there, but just to get the main bits, you're going to be playing. So it's the same as before. Nothing really different. It's just the feel slightly different. No, the notes aren't different. So that is new. So the third measure, I think, goes, and then you've got that little bend. That's just a half step bend, and release, and then a pull off to the third fret. And I think the second set of measures you hear quite a lot. So it's and Stone's playing as that builds up. Now over the top of the next bit, you will also hear. You'll hear that in there as well, I think. Solo time. Now the Stone's guitar part is. And then round again, which is just gold dust if you're a guitarist. Okay, so the first section. Okay, so that first section slowly is. So that's the tricky bit, just bending immediately after the hammer on. I'm not picking that. And then you're going to play. So that slowly. So that is. Just bend and release on the 10th fret. Quite difficult to do that quickly, so it might take a bit of practice. Then the next phrase. That's just a very simple blues run. Just a simple run, I'll play that slowly. Next run. So I tend to play it from the 9th fret sliding down to the 7th. Okay, so slowly. And there's this double stop with a hammer on. Just repeated twice, nice and easy that one. You're just banking your first finger on the 10th fret of the B and E string, and you're going to play a hammer on from the 10th fret on the B string to the 12th fret, and then the 10th fret on the E string. And there's this run. So that is basically just a pull off again. you can keep your first finger where it is and just play. So you're pulling off on the 10th fret and then playing the 10th fret on the B string. Then you do it on the 14th fret as well. So the first phrase of it goes. Then, rather than, he doesn't continue playing it on the 12th fret, he then starts it again on the 14th fret, so you get. Then there's a series of bends which goes. Very country. Full bend on the 12th fret. Then there's a half bend on the 12th fret. Don't know if that's in there. Don't know if it goes down to the 10th fret. Can't remember. Anyway, put it in if you want, or not. Then 10th fret bend on the E string. So. Then you're going to play this. So just a cool double stop type bend. Then the last part goes. Okay. That's about right, I think. So that last part is another sort of country bend. So you'll bend your little fingers on the 10th fret, your middle fingers on the 9th fret. Okay. So you're just playing, but with your little finger banked on that 10th fret. That repeats around twice, and then another bend on the 10th fret on the E string. Little run down, and another bend. That's a half bend. And I think he plays an open E here because you hear. I think that's what I hear, rather than. That's what I think he plays anyway. Or. So anyway, brilliant stuff. I love that. And that is the end of the tune. So I hope that all made sense, and I didn't go too quickly over the solo part. But yeah, hopefully you can slow it down. You've got the tab, so it will make some sense to you. Anyway, that's enough from me. I hope you enjoyed it, and more lessons coming very soon. Cheers. Bye bye.